Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so we have completed the first module of the coordinate system, and we have discussed about the Cartesian, cylindrical, and spherical coordinate system, and the transformation of the coordinate systems. That means transforming a scalar point and a vector from one coordinate to another, and also I have shown some numericals regarding that particular module. Okay, and I have also shared all the notes that was being taught. Okay, till last class I've shared all the notes in the Google Classroom. Okay, I hope all of you have the Google Classroom code with you. Now today I will be starting the new module, which is the introduction to vector calculus. Basically it is the operation, that means consideration of a vector in three-dimensional geometry, and the operation, that means the application of vector in three-dimensional geometry, that means the application of vector in coordinate system. Okay, so first of all we will discuss about the del operator. So del operator is an operator which is used for vector calculation. It is, you can say, it is a differentiation operator for a vector. Okay, so vector in three-dimensional coordinate system, that means in three-dimensional coordinate system, suppose we are talking about the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, and we know that in a single coordinate system, okay, or a single scalar, suppose x square, so we can easily differentiate it with respect to x. That means if I differentiate x square with respect to x like this, x square with respect to x, we write derivative of x square with respect to dx, so we get 2x as the result. Okay, but for any vector, or you can say any particular, or a scalar, okay, in a coordinate system, let it be a vector or a scalar, anything in a coordinate system, when you are having three dimensions over there, the differentiation cannot be performed using only one axis or coordinate. You have to use dx, dy, and dz, all the three. Okay, so that means any particular quantity in a coordinate system, so the differential operator or the differentiation is performed using this del operator, which is called the vector differential operator. So del operator is also called the vector differential operator because it is a differential operator for a vector, and it is denoted by this symbol. So in Cartesian coordinate system, the del operator formula or the equation is this. It is the partial derivative with respect to x, unit vector x, then plus partial derivative of y with respect partial derivative with respect to y, unit vector y, plus partial derivative with respect to z, unit vector z. You can say that you can ask the partial derivative of what, because this place is vacant, because generally when we differentiate anything or we partial differentiate anything, partial means suppose we are differentiating with respect to x, only the x parameter of the numerator will be differentiated, y parameter will not be differentiated. Okay, so that is the partial differentiation. Now this partial derivative, when we are performing, you can see it is performed with respect to every axis, okay, with a unit vector. Now it is kept vacant because this del operator, this is the equation of a del operator first of all, and it can be applied on a scalar, or it can be applied on a vector also. So it is the basic del operator which is represented in Cartesian coordinate system in equation number 1. Now this vector differential operator or del operator, otherwise known as the gradient operator, is not a vector itself, but when it operates on a scalar function, for example a vector n SUSS, the operator is useful in defining. So that means it is not a vector by itself, because del operator is just an operator. If you operate on something, until and unless it operates on some other parameter, it is incomplete. Okay, so it can be applied on a scalar. So if you apply a del operator on a scalar, then it is called the gradient of a scalar. It is called the gradient of a scalar. Okay, so suppose we have a scalar V, capital V. Suppose potential is a scalar V. We apply the gradient of a scalar, we write del V. So this shows that it is a gradient of a scalar. Okay, now the del operator can be also applied on a vector. So when it is applied on a vector, it is called the divergence of a vector. So not only that, it in a vector, when you are applying the del operator on a vector, it can be applied in two different ways. That means because see, del operator itself has a vector property, because it has unit vectors x, y and z. It has unit vectors. Okay, so del operator has unit vectors. Now when del operator has unit vectors, so when you are multiplying with a vector, multiply it either by dot product or cross product. So when you are multiplying using dot product, so it is called divergence of a vector A. And whenever you are multiplying with cross product, it is called curl of vector A. It is called curl of vector A. Okay, so divergence and curl both are the operators, del operation applied on a vector. So divergence is the dot product and curl is the cross product. Another operation is there, which is Laplacian. So Laplacian of a scalar. So that is also a parameter, or there is also operation which is del square. It is like a double derivative. So we will move on to this Laplacian operator later on. First we will start with the gradient. Okay. Okay, this is the gradient. Now this one is the del operator. Now this equation, just a derivation to show that this del operator, how it is represented with respect to spherical coordinate system. See, this is the representation of the del operator in a cylindrical coordinate system. That means if we concentrate on equation 1, this equation 1 is the del operator for the Cartesian coordinate system, unit vector x, unit vector y, unit vector z. Now for cylindrical coordinate system, it is represented like this. Okay, that conversion has been represented over here just for your understanding, but it is not very important because it is a lot of time consuming and it is not important for examination. Okay, because this is quite similar to what you have done in the transformation part. In the earlier lecture and earlier module, I have shown you how to transform a vector in Cartesian coordinate system to cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so similarly here also the transformation has to be done. Okay, so I am just going forward towards the equation. Okay, because later if we it is not necessary to go for the derivation. Okay, because if you have done the transformation derivation in the earlier module for a vector to one Cartesian, from Cartesian to spherical vector transformation, that means this is very similar to that, because you can see the equations are very common. You have seen these equations earlier, so I'm not going to this once again because I have already explained those transformations in the earlier lectures. Okay, so over here you can see this is the equation of the del operator in the cylindrical coordinate system. So whenever there is a cylindrical coordinate system and you have to find the gradient, divergence or curl, you have to apply this formula of equation number 4. Okay, and if you have been given the spherical coordinate system, then you have to apply the equation of 8. Equation number 8. This is the del operator in the spherical coordinate system. Okay, now we will move towards the gradient. Gradient of a scalar. That means the first one. That means a scalar V, that is del V. Del V is the gradient. Now you can see the del V operator, it is very simple, because if you see this equation number 1, Del V means you have this equation, partial derivative of x unit vector x plus partial derivative of y unit vector y plus partial derivative of z unit vector z with u. Okay, this place is vacant, so what you will do, you will just put the scalar quantity, whatever. If v is the scalar, you put the scalar over here, because scalar is any point. Okay, you put the scalar over here, so vx, vy, vz. If you put it, then you will get the del v, that is the gradient of the scalar. Okay, so this is the equation. Now what is actually the gradient? The gradient of a scalar is a vector, because once you perform the gradient on a scalar, it becomes a vector. So if you want to transform a vector, a scalar to a vector, you perform gradient. So gradient of a scalar is a vector that represents both magnitude and direction of the maximum space rate of increase of v. That means, suppose there is a point over here. If you see this particular figure, okay, or if I take this point, if I zoom in, okay, so suppose we have a point over here, P1 point is there, okay, and the distance of point P1, okay, so P1 is having a potential of V1, because you see this particular line, this particular curved line, okay, this one, green one, it is an equipotential surface. That means any point you take on this surface, you will have the potential V1, same potential. The potential will not change, it will have the same potential. Okay, now there is another line over here, this one, which is V2. Okay, V2, this is another line. See, this line has potential V2. That means the potential on this particular line is equipotential. That means anywhere you take a point, it will be V2. Okay, and last one is again another equipotential point surface, which is V3. So anywhere you take, the value will be V3. Now the voltage, the potential at point P1, potential is V1. Now if I want to switch to the surface V2, then the potential will increase, because I am standing at a point P1 where the potential is V1, but I want to increase the potential. So I will jump to V2. So I can jump using any particular line. I can use this line from here to here, or this is P1, no, I can jump like this, I can move like this, I can move like this, anywhere I can move like this, anywhere I can move. So wherever the distance I travel is not important, because whenever I reach this particular line, blue line, I will get potential V2, and V2 is equals to V1 by del V, because V2 is greater than V1 by some magnitude del V. Okay, so now the potential at point P1, if I want to move, so I can choose any path, but I want to choose the path which is the shortest one. Okay, so that is, it is told over here in this case that the mathematical expression for the gradient can be obtained by evaluating the difference in the field dV between points P1 and P2 of figure 1, where V1, V2, V3 are the contours on which V is constant. Okay, so from calculus, dV means change in potential. So that means if I want to shift from point P1 to P2, okay, or from point P1 to anywhere on this particular surface V2, the potential will change from V1 to V2. So the change in potential is dV. Okay, or suppose it is delta V. But delta V, if I write in terms of coordinate system, because this particular surface, this is in the Cartesian coordinate system. So point P1 is having some coordinates, suppose 2, 3, 4. If I move to another point, suppose any other point, suppose P2 over here, P2, okay, which is having the potential V2, so that coordinate will change. Suppose it is 6, 7, 9, okay, okay, 6, 7, 8. So it is changing. So it is changing by 4, or if I write in this way, it is not always equal. So 6, 9, 11. Okay, so it is changing by 4, it is changing by 6, it is changing by 7. So there is a change in the coordinates. Okay, when the magnitude is changing, the coordinates are also changing. So that is why the magnitude of the potential across the coordinates, that is dV, will be partial derivative of v with respect to x dx. Why dx? Because in this case you have to use that differential length. If you can remember differential length, isn't it? There was the equation like this: dx unit vector x plus dy unit vector y plus dz unit vector z, dl equals to, dl is a vector, okay, dl is a vector. So default differential length, because if you focus, zoom on this, if you zoom on this, you can see here dl is written over here, dl. That means when I am changing from point P1 to P2, when I am shifting from point P1 to P2, the distance is changing. So distance is the dl length. So this one is dx, this one is dy, this one is d7, this 7 is dz. Got it? So I am just shorting down or concluding the entire thing what we have discussed. Number one, the inner surface is having potential V1. Number two, the middle one is having potential V2. Now there is a point P1 which is at potential V1. I want to shift that point P1 to another point P2 so that I can get potential V2. When I am shifting it, I am traveling a distance dl in the vector coordinates, in the Cartesian coordinate system in terms of vector. So dl is a vector. So I am traveling in that direction. So when I am traveling in that direction, the potential will change as per the coordinate system. So the distance is dl. The distance is changing in the coordinate system as dl. But what about the potential? The potential is also changing. So potential change in potential across the coordinate system is represented by this equation. Okay. So how we are getting this equation? Because step number 9 is actually, there is a preceding step. Okay. This one is the preceding step. That means after solving this, we are getting this step. Okay. After solving this, we are getting this step. So what is the previous step? Previous step is written on the later one. Okay, it is written later. Previous step is there is a dot product. Dot product between, this is dl. As you know, this is dl because dl is a vector and it is having unit vectors. Now this is another vector. Okay, this is another vector which is partial derivative of x or v with respect to x unit vector x, then partial derivative of v with respect to y unit vector y, and then v with respect to z unit vector z. This is called g. Suppose it is g. Okay, suppose it is written as g. So after you multiply these two, then I will get this value. That means if I multiply or dot product of g dot dl, I will get this value of dv in this form. Okay. So that means the change in voltage which we are getting from shifting from this point P1 to P2, that means if I show over here, the change in voltage from V1 to V2, okay, so that is dV in coordinates, because the coordinate change is dl. Because when you are changing the coordinates dl and you are reaching point P2, then the potential will also change. So change in potential is dV. So dV is written like this. This is the equation of dV as per equation number 9. So how we are getting this? Just dot product of g and dl. Okay, we can get that. But over here, then we can write dv is equals to g dot dl, but since it is dot product, it is g cos theta dl. Since it is a dot product, it is d cos theta dl. Because then what is g then? G is nothing but a vector, because this one is a vector, because dl is a vector, g is also a vector. So g is a vector like this. Okay, suppose g is a vector and dl is also a vector, and if g and dl are on the same line, then the angle will be 0. But if the angle, they are not in the same line, then there is an angle between them which is theta. Because if I zoom in over here, it is dl, it is g, and there is an angle between them, theta. This angle can be 0 or it can be non-zero also. So this is the g value and this is the dl, and if you find the dot product, it will be g dl cos theta. Then we can write dv by dl equals to g cos theta. Okay, so this is g cos theta. Okay, so here dl is the differential distance from P1 to P2. As I've told you, the dl is the distance from P1 to P2. Understood? Distance from P1 to P2. Okay, and angle is theta is the angle between g and dl. So this is already I've explained. So now equation number 12. So we notice that dv by dl is maximum when theta is 0. As I've told you, this angle can be 0 and it can be non-zero also. If it is 0, then what will happen? Then dv will be maximum. Then dv will be maximum. Oh, sorry, dv by dl is maximum as per this equation number 12. Because if theta is 0, so dv by dl will be equals to g. Okay, where g is the, as per this equation, it is the rate of change of voltage. Okay, or space rate of change of voltage. Rate of change of voltage with respect to length. Okay, so it is not with respect to time, it is called the space rate of increase of voltage, or you can say space rate of increase of voltage. Then it will be g equals to dl, dv by dl, and dv by dl if it is max if theta is 0. So then dl is called dn. Then dl is called dn. Okay, so that means the dv by dn is the normal derivative. It is a normal derivative. Thus g has its magnitude and direction as those of the magnitude rate of maximum rate of change of v. By definition, g is the gradient of v. So that means if I go to this picture once again, if I so point P was there, now we have point P2, with point P1 to P2, the distance is dl. Distance is dl. Okay, this is dl. Now if I jump from P1 to P2 using this line G, then also I can do that. But if I choose the shortest path, that means if G is the shortest path, okay, so that means if G is the shortest path, only when dv by dl is equals to G, that means dv by dl is maximum. That means if dl is the shortest path, that means G is the moving vector. What I'm trying to say is that if G is the moving vector, that means you are shifting from point P1 to P2. Point P1 से P2 शिफ्ट कर रहे हो, ठीक है? जब शिफ्ट कर रहे हो तो एक वेक्टर हिसाब से जा रहा हो, ठीक है? dl जो लेंथ है वो dl यहाँ पर यहाँ से यहाँ है. You can choose this path, you can choose this path, you can choose any path. सो जब तुम वोल्टेज को चेंज कर रहे हो, ठीक है, तो यू आर टेकिंग दिस वेक्टर, ओके, जी, okay, so that means this is the change in vector, this is the change in vector. But if you choose the minimum shortest path, suppose this is the shortest path, this is the shortest path, जहां भी जाओगे ये लॉन्गर लॉन्ग पाथ है, मान लो ये वाला शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ है P1 टू P2, ये वाला शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ है, तो इसको हम कहेंगे dn. इफ यू चेंज द वोल्टेज फ्रॉम P1 टू P2 change in voltage is dV in coordinate system. If you change the voltage using the shortest path, then it is called the gradient of V. So G is nothing but gradient of V, gradient of a scalar. So that means you are changing the vector, or changing a point from one potential to another potential, shifting a point, and the shifting of the point takes place taking the shortest distance. Then the change in voltage that you will get along the shortest distance is called the gradient of V. That is the maximum space rate of increase of potential, because the potential is increasing from V1 to V2, because V1 and V2 is this in coordinates. So V1, V2 is greater. So just increasing the potential, but using the maximum space rate. Maximum space rate because you're moving the you're changing the vector, you're changing the potential, but using the maximum space rate. So I'm using the minimum distance. So if the distance is minimum, then your speed of increase will be more. अगर दोनों पॉइंट के बीच में अगर लेंथ सबसे छोटा है, तो जब इंक्रीज करोगे तो वो मैक्सिमम स्पीड से इंक्रीज करोगे. अगर लेंथ छोटा होता है तो टाइम कम लगता है. सो दैट मीन्स the increase in voltage will be maximum. So that is why it is written over here as per the definition that maximum space rate of increase of V. So maximum space rate of increase. Space rate of increase means dV by dl is the rate of increase using space, and maximum when this is maximum, that is dV by dn. dn is normal, that is equals to the gradient d del V. Okay, so this is V, increase in voltage, this one, okay, and this is dl. If you dot product them, you will get delta V. Okay, oh sorry, dot product means this is delta V, this one is delta V. Dot product of delta V, that means G is nothing but delta V. Dot product of delta V and dl gives you dV, and dV by dl max or dn gives you delta V. So in this case we are not writing this as delta V, we are writing G, because we are not sure whether dl is equals to the shortest path or not. If dl is the shortest path, then the theta will be 0. Got it? If you have the question about why G is written over here, तो इसके लिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि G मान लो, G जो वेक्टर है, G वेक्टर हमेशा शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ की तरफ जा रहा है, ठीक है, शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ को चूज करेगा. लेकिन dl मान लो तुम्हारा शॉर्टेस्ट नहीं है, तो फिर तुम ग्रेडियंट को निकाल नहीं पाओगे. लेकिन अगर G जिस डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है वो तो शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ के खोज में लगेगा. अगर dl उसी डायरेक्शन में है तो फिर थीटा होगा 0, जो कि यहाँ पर लिखा गया है. यू कैन सी ओवर हियर l between G and dl. When theta is 0, then dV by dl is maximum. Then dl and dl is equals to dn. So then when theta is 0, then only dl will follow G. That means G जिस डायरेक्शन में है उस डायरेक्शन में dl भी जाएगा, क्योंकि एंगल 0 है. क्योंकि G हमेशा मिनिमम डिस्टेंस में जा रहा है, मिनिमम डिस्टेंस के तरफ जा रहा है, क्योंकि G is nothing but the gradient of V. So if gradient of V is choosing the shortest path, then if dl is the shortest path, then you can get gradient of V, otherwise you cannot get. Okay, so this is the definition. So gradient of V is nothing but the partial derivative of V with respect to each parameter, each coordinate, and with a unit vector. Okay, so have you understood this particular figure? What is G and what is DL? This part. Because you have to follow this particular statement, maximum space rate of increase of V. Okay, this equation may look complicated, but if you go thoroughly what I have said, then you will be able to follow. Because see, dV is the change in voltage along the coordinate system. The changing voltage can be along any path. That is why we have written the G dot dl. But this G will become gradient of V only dl is the shortest path. That means if dl is following G and if the angle between them is 0, then only it will become the gradient of V. Otherwise it will not become gradient of V. Because gradient of V is nothing but the maximum space rate of increase of V. Okay, got it? Any questions? Hello, Ayush, Danish, any question? Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
सर इस मॉड्यूल एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन कैसे आएगा वो थोड़ा बता दीजिए।
ये बेसिकली एक डेफिनेशन है, इसमें एग्जाम में न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन ही ज़्यादा आता है, ठीक है। डेफिनेशन आ सकता है कि व्हाट डू मीन बाय ग्रेडियंट ऑफ अ स्केलर। सो द सॉल्यूशन, द आंसर विल बी द ग्रेडियंट ऑफ अ स्केलर is nothing but it is the maximum space rate of increase of V. That means whenever there is a increase in scalar quantity in a coordinate system from one point to another, if the increase in that particular scalar is using the maximum rate, that means when you are shifting from one point to another, if the shifting is through the shortest distance, then you can determine the gradient. Okay, because the shifting is the shortest distance. So if the dl is equals to dn, shortest, then it is called the gradient. That means you are changing the potential from V1 to V2. Okay, so if you are following the shortest path, then it is called the gradient, because the maximum, your change is maximum, dV by dl is maximum. Okay, then G becomes del V. Question will be coming like this. See, using this equation 14, this is in the Cartesian coordinate system and this equation is in the cylindrical coordinate system. Because the cylindrical coordinate system equation was over here, you have to just put V over here. Del के बाद V लिखना है, spherical में भी del के बाद V लिखना है. Okay. यहाँ पर भी del के बाद V लिखना है. तो क्वेश्चन ऐसा आएगा, मान लो कि ग्रेडियंट लिखा है यहाँ पे, ग्रेडियंट को निकालना है. V is a scalar quantity because it is not having any unit vector. It is a scalar quantity in the Cartesian coordinate system. U is a scalar quantity in the cylindrical coordinate system. W is a scalar quantity in the spherical coordinate system. Okay. So this scalar quantity, if you want to find the gradient, what you will do? You will just use this formula. That is V, you will put V over here. After you put the value of V, you will just find the partial derivative. तो इसका पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव क्या आएगा? e to the power minus z sin 2x cos hy, बिकॉज हाइपरबोलिक फंक्शन hy. ठीक है, तो इसका आएगा क्योंकि पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव है, सो फिर x वाला ही डिफरेंशिएट होगा, तो ये होगा 2 e to the power minus z sin 2x हो जाएगा cos 2x cos hy यूनिट वेक्टर x. ठीक है, ये अनचेंज्ड रहेगा, बाकी दोनों z वाला पैरामीटर और h वाला पैरामीटर अनचेंज्ड रहेगा. ठीक है, और दूसरे वाला में जब y के हिसाब से जाएंगे तो y के हिसाब से यहाँ पर जो पैरामीटर है वो है, तो तुम्हारा y के डिफरेंशिएशन क्या होगा कि dv विद रिस्पेक्ट टू y यूनिट वेक्टर y. ओके, देन इट विल बी डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ दिस. सो डिफरेंशिएशन के बाद क्या आएगा, ये वाला तो y नहीं है तो e टू द पावर माइनस z रहेगा. ठीक है, ये होगा साइन 2x, y नहीं है, cos hx हो जाएगा साइन hx, ओके ओके, साइन hy यूनिट वेक्टर y, ठीक है, cos will become sin. Now then we have the z parameter. So with respect to z, ये वाला सिर्फ z है, e टू का माइनस z, तो ये होगा माइनस e टू का माइनस z साइन 2x cos hx y is cos hy यूनिट वेक्टर z. ओके, दिस इज द वे टू सॉल्व, क्वाइट इजी. जस्ट ये तुमने एल्जेब्रा में तो किया होगा, क्लास 11 में भी किया होगा, पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव वही करना है, ठीक है. ये वाला देखो, ये वाला स्केलर जो है ये है सिलेंड्रिकल कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम में, तो इक्वेशन जो था यहाँ पर सिर्फ उसका वैल्यू इसको पुट करना है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज दिस इक्वेशन इज देयर, यू हैव टू पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ v. यहाँ पर v नहीं है, यहाँ पर u है, तो u का वैल्यू तुम पुट करोगे ऐसे, ये वाला इक्वेशन है. u अगर पुट करोगे तो u पहले पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव जाएगा रो के साथ, तो रो के साथ जाएगा तो क्या होगा 2 रो z cos 2 phi यूनिट वेक्टर रो, देन इट इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू फाई, तो ये हो जाएगा रो स्क्वायर z cos हो जाएगा साइन, सो माइनस साइन 2 phi यूनिट वेक्टर फाई, सो माइनस पहले आ जाएगा, ठीक है, प्लस z की तरफ जाएगा, सो z सिर्फ z है तो ये 1 हो जाएगा, तो रो स्क्वायर cos 2 phi यूनिट वेक्टर z. Similarly for w is in the spherical coordinate system, so spherical coordinate system का जो formula है, that formula you have to put and perform the partial derivative as it is. Okay, so this is the numericals that are generally come in the for this you can say this gradient, okay, gradient topic, and this is the last one. यहाँ पर हाँ, ये जो प्रॉब्लम है, in this problem you can see there is a scalar quantity given in the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so in the Cartesian there is scalar x square y square plus x y z. So compute the gradient of w and the direction derivative dw by dl in the direction 3 unit vector x plus 4 unit vector y plus 12 unit vector z at this point. इसका मतलब है कि एक स्केलर क्वांटिटी है, इसको एक एक करके समझो. एक स्केलर है w, okay, so w is a scalar first of all. Now you have to find the gradient. So gradient you can find easily using this formula. You will find the gradient. This is the gradient. So gradient के निकालने के बाद ये वेक्टर हो जाता है. So scalar becomes a vector after the gradient operation, del operation. This is the gradient. Now the question has more than one part. First part is over. This is the first part. Del w हमने निकाल दिया. Okay, compute del w and the direction derivative निकालना है. मतलब dw by dl in the direction. मान लो कि जो डेफिनेशन मैंने बोला था कि एक जब वेक्टर स्केलर जब चेंज हो रहा है, मान लो कि ये स्केलर एक पॉइंट से दूसरे पॉइंट पे जा रहा है, तो ये स्केलर का मैग्नीट्यूड इंक्रीज हो रहा है. तो जब इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो इंक्रीज का मैग्नीट्यूड है dw, because just like the potential was increasing from v2 by v1, v2 from v1, so suppose this scalar is also increasing. It is increasing from w1 to w2, and the change in the potential or change in the scalar quantity is dw. Suppose change is dw. Okay, now कौन से डायरेक्शन में चेंज हुआ है? n डायरेक्शन में चेंज हुआ है. तो अगर n मतलब के शॉर्टेस्ट डायरेक्शन है, तो मतलब जो चेंज हुआ है यूजिंग द शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस, तो वी नो दिस इज कॉल्ड द ग्रेडियंट. अगर शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस में चेंज नहीं हुआ है, dl पे हुआ है, विच इज नॉट इक्वल्स टू dn, देन वी कॉल दैट दिस इज नॉट ग्रेडियंट. ग्रेडियंट तभी निकलेगा जब जो डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल किया है वो शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस होगा, नॉर्मल डिस्टेंस होगा. शॉर्टेस्ट अगर डिस्टेंस नहीं है तो ग्रेडियंट नहीं है. तो मान लो कि ग्रेडियंट नहीं निकालना है, हमको सिर्फ निकालना है कि ये क्या है, व्हाट इज इट। अगर इस डायरेक्शन में जाते तो ग्रेडियंट तो नहीं निकलता, लेकिन क्या निकलता। तो मतलब dl इज नॉट द शॉर्टेस्ट वन, सो dl इज गिवन, सो dl इज नॉट द शॉर्टेस्ट वन, यू हैव टू फाइंड dl। सो dl जो है वो निकालना है। अब पॉइंट यहाँ पर देखो, यहाँ पर लिखा है कि एट दिस पॉइंट, सो ये एक डिफरेंट इंफॉर्मेशन है। ये इंफॉर्मेशन क्या है, ये थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग लग सकता है पहले, अगर तुम ठीक ना समझो तो मैं इसको दोबारा बोल रहा हूँ कि पहला वाला जो क्वेश्चन है वो शायद समझ में आ गया नहीं ना, कि एक W एक स्केलर है, उसका डेल ऑपरेटर निकालना है, ठीक है, ग्रेडियंट निकालना है। तो ग्रेडियंट निकल गया ये वाला। अब ग्रेडियंट को कब बोलते हैं, जब शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में ट्रेवल करते हैं। अब मान लो शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में ट्रेवल नहीं करना है तो ग्रेडियंट नहीं निकलेगा, लेकिन हमको जानना है अगर शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में ट्रेवल नहीं करते, अगर ये वाला पाथ चूज करते तो इसका डेरिवेटिव क्या निकलता, ये क्या निकलता, हमको जानना है, ठीक है, जान लेंगे। तो क्या करेंगे, इसको जानने के लिए dw/dl निकालेंगे, ठीक है। लेकिन dw जो है उसका वैल्यू देखो, dw मतलब के डेल w एक्चुअली, ओके। सो डेल w इज like this, okay, del w is like this, okay। अब dw/dl, अगर इस फॉर्मूला पे जाओगे, dw/dl मतलब क्या है, dw/dl ये वाला, हाँ, dw मतलब dv/dl इज नथिंग बट g है ना, g। तो g मतलब g होता है ये वाला, dl g.dl करने से हमको dv मिलता है, ठीक है, dv मिलता है। तो यहां पर ही सेम होगा, यहां पर dw/dl जो है वो है डेल w डॉट यूनिट वेक्टर l, मतलब कि ये वाला डिस्टेंस, ये वाला डिस्टेंस का यूनिट वेक्टर। इसका मतलब है कि हम लोग इसको डायरेक्टली नहीं निकाल सकते। क्यों निकाल नहीं सकते, क्योंकि dv बाय इस राइट हैंड साइड को छोड़ दो, सिर्फ ये वाला देखो, लिसन केयरफुली। द क्वेश्चन इज टोल्ड दैट यू हैव टू फाइंड dw/dl बिकॉज dl इज नॉट नॉर्मल। dl अगर नॉर्मल होता तो वो ग्रेडियंट हो जाता, जो हमको मिल चुका है। मतलब एक dw डिस्टेंस है, एक dw पे जा रहे हैं, तो ये dn है, तो ये dw जाएंगे तो इसको हम ग्रेडियंट निकाल सकते हैं। अगर dl में जा रहे तो यहां पर तो ग्रेडियंट नहीं निकलेगा, क्योंकि dw अगर शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में जा रहा है तभी ग्रेडियंट निकलेगा। तो अगर इस पाथ में जा रहा है तो कैसे निकलेगा, तो ये वाला हमको निकालना है। अब ये निकाल नहीं सकते क्योंकि dw का वैल्यू नहीं पता हमको, डेल w का पता है। डेल w मतलब शॉर्टेस्ट वन, तो डेल w मतलब dw/dn। अब ना ही हमको dn पता है, ना ही हमको dw पता है, तो ये तो नहीं निकलेगा। ये निकल गया, बैक कैलकुलेशन नहीं कर सकते। तो कैसे करेंगे, वेरी इजी, जस्ट इमेजिन दैट दिस इज शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ। अगर शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में जाते हैं तो ये डेल w निकल रहा है। अगर शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ में नहीं जा रहा है तो क्या करेंगे, इसको हम वो शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ के यूनिट वेक्टर के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे। मतलब कोई वेक्टर a है, ठीक है, इसका डायरेक्शन यहां से यहां तक है, ठीक है। एक्चुअली द टाइम इज ओवर, ओके, सो आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस पर्टिकुलर question in the next class because it is very important, okay। So I will explain this one in the next class, okay, because this gradient operation is very important. If you are not able to understand one lecture, no problem, I will continue the other lecture, but you have to understand this. If you are able to understand it properly, then the other topics will become very easy for you, ठीक है। तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, हम लोग ये इसको दोबारा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में कंटिन्यू करेंगे, ठीक है, ओके। सो
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, ठीक है। सो आई विल कंटिन्यू द नेक्स्ट क्लास, नो प्रॉब्लम। इफ आई हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड देन आई विल repeat it once again, okay। So it is, I can understand this topic is little bit critical because it is related to physics, okay, और mathematics also, so vector calculus mathematics में भी है, So I will once again explain it. Okay. So thank you then, students.
Thank you, sir.